Okay, I've got a second computer here which I'm recording on as well. Okay. Right, seems to be working. Okay. All right, let's get underway. So welcome to How to Help Others Transmute Their Karma into their gifts of service. I'm Nicholas David Mann of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. So seeing we have a small intimate group, we can be a lot more interactive. So the purpose of tonight's webinar is to give you a feel for the soul contract work and on how you can actually help others overcome that struggle to bring their spiritual gifts online. Because what happens is that many people turn away from their challenges, okay? And the biggest karmic challenges they face, because no matter what they've tried, they are unable, it's too painful emotionally for them to overcome it. And the reason that happens is because they actually don't have the spiritual map of their life on how to overcome the challenges, so they get stuck. And so this webinar is about how to identify those core patterns and how to go about transmuting them. And when we turn into our karmic challenges, the hard stuff in life, that enables people to deliver their gift of service to the world, surprisingly. It's a special thing that they've been looking for their entire life. So what I'd actually like to do is to hear from you guys as to what's brought you here and what you'd like from us, because then we can sort of customize this webinar to what you need. All right, so maybe, do you want to go first, Rochelle? Do you want to sort of say why you're here and what you'd like from us? Because then I can shape the webinar based upon what you guys need. Okay.
Okay, thank you. It's Rachel.
Rachel.
Actually.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it's actually Tracy, and Rachel is the name that, I don't know if you remember some of the emails that I've been working with you on.
Yeah.
Rachel is the new name, but anyways, that's another thing. So yeah, core karmic patterns. Probably it was 2015. I was in a if you're familiar with Theo off of Gaia, was on Theo. They had a what they call orphans. They call these little karmic patterns, they assign them as like orphans, inner children, or whatever. And so some of that karmic, what they told me was that I have some kind of past life that's interfering with this life. And, I guess that's up to me to figure out. And I've been rolling that around in my head. I don't know what it is. So basically 3 things for me. Health tied to money issues, really being challenged with money. I'm like a kid in a candy store with money, and I'm a little bit afraid of it. I need to use it wisely. I know, there's some of the things growing up that were said I don't really remember. I don't have a lot of memory of. That's where I come into a lot of problems with dealing with core issues, is because I don't have a lot of memory of, things that were said. I mean, I remember like the punishments and things like that, but things that were being said, I think I just am a kind of empathic and do a lot of feeling. So that, and also when almost everybody has this belief, is that when everything gets just so, then then I'll commit to my path, or I'll do this, or whatever it happens to be, my health regime, whatever. So those are my 2. I said 3, but 2's big enough, I think.
Okay. So what would you like from the webinar? That are the issues you're facing. What would you like from this?
Um, well, I'm really, I guess I'm having some fear about, how the world's going, and I feel like it's you know, I'm wasting my time in all of this mire that my life is, when I know I have these gifts and I could be helping people. And, I know that I'm here to do that. I have strong, powerful feelings and I know I have these gifts and I don't know how to use them right. And it's frustrating because I feel like I could be doing it now, and instead I've got all these problems that I've got to crawl out of.
Okay.
So
It gives me a good feel.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Georgina. I just got to unmute you. Hang on.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So what's brought you here? What do you need from this webinar?
Okay. First of all, I would like to know and be able to identify what are karmic, um, contracts or karmic, be able to identify it through my life first, what contracts or what karmic things I have from my past, so I could heal them, and then be able to help other people, because I'm also a healer and I have gifts like Raquel said, but I'm not be able to fully express my gifts because I'm afraid, and I'm taking care of my energy and all these things instead of being out there. So I want to be able to heal myself first so I could help other people. Because, even though I'm out there sometimes and helping them, sometimes they ask me stuff and I don't even know how to answer because I'm dealing with the same stuff. So I guess I wanted more in-depth information, be able to identify things, be able to solve them. So in the future, when I have a client or someone and is going through something similar, right away I could tell and help them with ease, and not be able to like, oh, I don't know, let me find out and I'll get in touch or I'll find someone else. It's I don't want to be in that situation. So pretty much is that, I want to learn more about it, apply it in my life, and then be able to use it with people that are gonna reach to me and looking for help.
Okay. All right, I got it. That's real clear. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Barbara, do you want to sort of say why you're here? Let's see. You there, Barbara? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen now. We'll talk about how to answer that question, Georgina. How you can use this to understand yourself and help others. Okay. So you should be able to see everyone on the right-hand side with a whole bunch of little webcam windows. If you don't, then you go to the top and you can see there's 4 choices. You pick the third from the left, which has gallery view, so you see everybody, okay? All right. So our karma contains our spiritual gift of service. So the hardest stuff that we face, which we tend to turn away from, actually really wants us to face it and bring consciousness to our biggest challenges, because if we do that and bring feeling consciousness to those programs and transmute them, then our gift of service will come out of that. All right. Because what happens in life is that, you guys heard of the law of attraction here? Yeah. So the law of attraction actually goes with the law of opposite. So initially in life, which we weren't told about, initially in life we get everything we don't want, as you might have noticed. Okay. And the idea of that is that so you get the stuff you don't like, because then you move away from it initially and you get clear what you do want. For example, if you were having a lot of disempowerment when you're younger, then you're going to move away from the source of that. But the lesson here is really to turn into the programming of disempowerment and transmute it into empowerment. So we need to become the opposite quality of what we first get, what first comes to us in life. And our soul does that, so we go in the right direction, because we didn't have these strong negative experiences initially, then we couldn't actually grow, because we wouldn't know where to go. It wouldn't be a motivation to change. So basically, we turn disempowerment into the gift of service, which is empowerment, or you might turn unworthiness into feeling of being worthy to share whatever's within you. You might be going from shy, feeling unworthy, to being worthy, and then reaching a lot of people with your message. Okay, so that's the first sort of principle of how life works. And the soul contract reading work allows us to identify, well, what actually is the karma? Okay, and where are we meant to go with that? So, sort of start answering your question there, Georgina. Training as a soul contract reader is a means for doing this, helping others transform their karma to the gift of service, because what the system does is it decodes the secrets of the blueprint of life for spiritual seekers, because 2 or 3% of the population are spiritual seekers who came here for a high purpose on earth to make a difference in consciousness. And hidden within the sounds of their birth certificate name, okay, is the secret blueprint, which creates the reality by the law of attraction in each moment. And if you were to try to drive from Los Angeles to New York with the lights off in the car at night, you wouldn't get very far, because you don't have a illumination consciousness, and you don't have direction, a spiritual map of life. But most people are doing that. They're driving around in the dark in their life. But the purpose of this work is to switch the lights on, turn on the sat nav, and program New York in there, so you can actually get from Los Angeles to New York. And the spiritual map of life, the spiritual sat nav, then empowers people to identify first their karma, then find ways to overcome it, which gives direction on that, helps them express more of their talents, helps them achieve their goals. And if they work on these 3 issues, then you can start to manifest your soul or life purpose. And that's that deep drive we all have. There's a feeling there's something special we're here to do, but we can't quite get to it. And what we're doing out there, normally in the matrix and the reality, is not satisfying us fully. It's because there's a deeper drive, deeper purpose for this life. And so the soul contract reading work allows you to determine, well, what actually is that deeper purpose? Welcome, Amanda. So if you'd like to join us, you can just say yes to that little window that's gone up there. Then you can participate if you like. You don't have to if you don't want. So how do we figure out, well, what actually is someone's soul contract? Yeah. So what we do is that we use the frequencies of ancient Hebrew. We use 22 letters of the ancient Hebrew alphabet, and we match it to the sound of your birth name or your client's birth name. And what happens then is that in Hebrew, numbers and letters have the same sound and same symbol. So if you want to switch your camera on, Amanda, and speak, you can. And it'd be great if you could participate. It's a small group tonight. It's up to you entirely. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just click on the video button and the microphone button on the bottom left of your screen. So basically what happens here is that we take the numbers which are inherent in Hebrew and we decode them on the Star of David, which I'll explain how that works. Hi, Amanda. Do you want to give us a sound check just to see? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are you, Amanda?
I'm in the UK.
Okay. Okay. You're the only UK person here. So
right.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we'll just put you on mute while you're not speaking, okay? So Actually, Sing's a small group, so can you tell us briefly what's brought you here, what you'd like from this webinar? Because I'm just shaping the webinar based around what you guys need. Oops, I disappeared. Okay, well, are you up to sharing what would you like from the webinar, Amanda? You have to unmute yourself.
Could you say that again, please?
Yeah, what brought you here and what would you like from the webinar? Because then that can help me shape the webinar for you and the others.
Okay, I've just always been fascinated with this kind of thing. It's just always been an interest of mine, so it'd be really interesting to be able to help people find out because that's one of my things, finding out what my life purpose is. So to be able to do that for myself and also do it for other people as well would be amazing.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. So what we do is that we decode the name on the Star of David, and I'll demonstrate in a little while how we do that. And the Star of David basically has two large triangles. And the large downward pointing one represents the physical side of life. So our soul, prior to incarnation, it looks at our previous lives, which I assume you're all open to, and it works out what will be the optimal lifetime to create in this current lifetime. So it designs the lifetime, chooses a name which by the law of attraction creates our reality in each moment, and it chooses the parents, genetic structure, key relationships, and then country, time zone, and then it programs the name into its DNA and into its energy fields. And so when you incarnates, it's telepathing to the mother and father what it would like to be called. And most of the time, parents get it right. So when that name is registered on the birth certificate, the soul contract is activated fully. So initially, we have to create a personality, ego, expressionist interface with the world, which is what this work is about. It's about what is the filter that we perceive the reality through. So initially, we need to learn to walk and talk, which is the physical side of this chart here. Get conditioned responses, get up and running, relationships, jobs, careers, etc. And between the ages of 35 and 42 or younger, the large upward pointing triangle triggers. It's a spiritual triangle where we get restless, we have a spiritual awakening, some call it the midlife crisis, where we actually want to seek for something deeper, and there's got to be more meaning behind life than all these outer material things and what I've been doing at the moment. So people may change jobs, relationships, countries, and the soul is trying to build this spiritual triangle on the foundation of the physical triangle here and get on with its mission, provided the physical triangle has been well built. Just gonna have a little drink here. So within each of the triangles, there's three aspects. There's karma, talents, and goals. And karma is a set of unresolved past life issues the soul brings in to create the negative context of the karmic pattern, which we're here to turn into and transmute. And we work through the karma by activating our latent physical talents and infuses into the physical karma if it's a good match. And then once the talents are strong enough, that helps us move towards the physical goals. And the goals are like what excites us, what gets us out of bed in the morning. So the energy flows from karma to talents to goals in the physical world, and then from spiritual karma to spiritual talents to spiritual goals. And this is our real mission, is contained in these three aspects. And if we consciously work through these six aspects, having had our soul contract read, what happens over time, time is this way. This is percentage complete, is that we gradually over time work through the issues. And as we work through them, they contribute towards the manifestation of the soul destiny, the life purpose. And as that activates, life gets very fulfilling and satisfying compared to being stuck in a rut, which is what a lot of people get, or progress is very slow. So I'll show you how this works. So Amanda, would you like to find out why you're here?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So this is going to be on my YouTube channel, okay? So just be aware of that.
Okay.
All right. So, but if you do inadvertently say something you don't want on there, I can just edit that out.
That's all right.
Okay. So so currently you're Amanda Rowan. That's the current name. That's what you've got on the screen identifier.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And so what's your birth name?
My full name is Amanda Jane Owen, Jane.
Okay. All right. So this is a soul contract web-based software we use. We won't put your birth date in because it's going to be a public video.
Okay.
Okay. Just got to put consent in here. Today's the 25th. All right. Just so, can I ask how old you are? So I know we work in 7-year cycles with the system.
47.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're on the 7th cycle of 7 years. Okay.
Right.
So what we're going to do here, I'll send you the chart later.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I can use your name and show you what this chart is about and how this works.
Okay.
All right. So what we've done here, okay, is that all right, is that we've taken your name here and we've matched it to the sounds of Hebrew, because we use 22 Hebrew letters to match up to the 26 letters of the English alphabet. So this is the phonetic Hebrew equivalent sounds. And within Hebrew, each letter has an inherent number within it. It's not allocated like conventional Pythagorean numerology. It's actually inherent within it. And Hebrew comes out of the movement of Great Spirit, all that is God, whatever you want to call the higher power that we're part of, in the creation of creation. They worked out through sacred geometry where Hebrew and Sanskrit come from the same place. And each movement has a specific sound. And so these are the sounds of God basically matched to your name. So it's a very pure form of interpretation, the system. So what we do is we allocate these numbers around the Star of David, like the 1 goes here. Then we go in a clockwise spiral, 13 goes here. 1 goes here, 14, 4, 1. That uses up the first 6. Then we keep going around the spiral till we use them all up, okay? So we get to the end. And then what we do is we add the numbers up. So the total here is 1 plus 10 plus 5 equals 16. And because it's less than 22, because it's 22 Hebrew letters with 22 sets of interpretations from the soul of Moses, who channeled us in the 80s through my teacher, Frank Alpa, in America, who's the founder of this work. And I learned from him in 1990 when I went to train with him in this, and I brought it to the UK. It used to be called the spiritual numerology of Moses, but I call it soul contract reading because I wanted to say more directly what it did, and also to differentiate it from conventional numerology, because it used to get confused with that. So there's a 16 here, and then there's another number, okay? And so to get the 7 here, we go 1 plus 6 equals 7. So what you do is you have a 16, 7 like that. So these are pure frequencies of a 16 in terms of a negative expression. Doesn't mean it's bad, just means it's the lesson you're going through. And the negative expression of a 7, the lessons of that, plus every blend in between. So somewhere along here, Amanda, on a given day, you're somewhere, some mix of them. It's like hot and cold taps in a shower. So, and then, for example, this one here, the total here, 1 plus 6 is 7. And because it's a single digit number, 7 plus nothing gives another 7, so we get a double number. So it's saying here there's only one point we're here to work with, one specific frequency of a 7 in goals. Okay. So we work out all these numbers. Oh yeah, this 10 here, 28 is more than 22. So 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So you get a 10, 1 here. Okay. So we take the physical numbers, place them on the top half of this table. Spiritual numbers, and place them on the bottom half. And then what we do is that we add them up, we get the 77 and a 23. So we reduce this to the first number, the 77, between 1 and 22. So 7 plus 7 is 14. And 23, 2 plus 3 is 5. So the 14, 5 goes in the middle, which is the soul destiny or your life purpose, Amanda.
Okay.
Okay. And all these squiggly symbols here were channeled by Frank Alper. And they're like little portals, which basically are telling me, going to tell me what I need to say to you, okay? All right. So is there a specific question you have about your life, Amanda, or shall I just give you a brief reading?
Brief reading.
Okay.
There's so many questions, it would take you all night.
All right.
There's
See
so
if
many.
See if I can answer them, okay?
Yes, please.
So Amanda, when you were younger, were you indecisive?
Yes.
Okay.
I still am.
Still am, okay, because this is a 7.
Okay.
And the 7's called a link which unites. And what it's about is that there's a part of your inner child who had a heart wound when you were younger, who's got them hidden away. Then she goes and that part of the ego goes and puts out a facade, a public face.
Right.
Okay, does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she wants people to look at the public facade and not look at the wounded child because she's scared of being unsafe or being rejected again.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. And so your job with this here, so actually a better question. So what caused the heartbreak in your life? What caused the inner child to be wounded?
How far are we going back? Are we talking childhood?
Could be any time in this life. Whatever you're prepared to share.
Okay, well, there was something going back to when I was very young.
Yeah.
About the age of 5.
Yeah. Just share what you're happy to share.
Yeah. Okay. I can leave it to your imagination, being that young. So yes, something did happen to me back then.
Yeah.
And I think also probably my relationship with my parents.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't have a close relationship with my mum and with my dad because I had younger brothers and sisters. I was the oldest, and I always felt that if there was a row, my dad would always say, you're the oldest, you should know better. And I just feel that nobody listens to me. Whenever I speak about anything, I just feel like I'm not heard or people talk over me. It really bugs me. So I think it relates back to when I was young as a child as well.
Yeah.
Not listened to by my dad, not really having a close relationship with my mum. That sort of only came when I was older.
Yeah. Yeah, this is saying here there's disempowerment by the masculine, by the father here.
Right.
Which leads to heartbreak here.
Yes.
Yeah. So the lesson here is to learn to heal the wounded inner child, help it grow up. Are you able to get more light on your face, Amanda? Because you're very much in silhouette.
Yes. I'll just go and put a big light on. Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Is that better?
It's a bit better. I can see you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So your job is to heal the wounded inner child, drop the facade, and start to express how you truly feel and think to the world, and open your heart. And you'll notice when you express the truth in a group of people, it disarms people because they either have to express their truth or leave the space.
Okay.
You notice that when someone speaks truth, everyone goes quiet in a room. But if someone tells a lie, the frequency drops and everyone's on it, and they know it's not true because they can feel the drop in the energy. You're here to be the former. So what do you do out in the world, Amanda, if I can ask? Just trying to see how this applies to your life.
Okay. Well, the reason why I've always been so desperate to find what my life purpose is because I've always felt that there is something that I should really be doing, and I feel it's stuff to do with healing.
Yeah.
I've learned so many different things, but I've never been able to specifically start work in that area. So at the moment, I'm having to do other, outside jobs, part-time work, working for another person. I want to be able to work for myself and do all the things I really want to be doing. Like I've learned hypnosis, I've learned Reiki, I've recently learned, I don't know if you've heard about bioacoustic sound healing. But these are all the different things that I've done, and what I would love to be doing is being able to work with people using these different therapies, but it's just not happening for me at the moment.
Yeah.
It really bugs me. So I keep thinking, well, does that mean that maybe I'm not supposed to be doing these things? I just keep thinking, what is it I'm supposed to be doing? Because it's just not happening. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You're actually here to use your spiritual energy to be of service to people here.
Yeah.
Open up to God consciousness with this one down here. So you're on the right path. But the thing is, you're invisible, aren't you?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Okay, no one sees you. So you're invisible because you put this facade and the real you's hiding down here.
Okay.
So by working on healing the heart, because you've got it down here as well, this is a goal, which is like a detuned film of the karma, and healing the heart and radiating the true you out to the world and dropping the facade, people will be drawn by that heart opening, by the magnetics of the soul going out, then they will come. Okay, so when you're trying to get your spiritual business out there, the most important thing to work on is yourself. Because the limitation on how far you can go is your own issues. It doesn't mean you have to become perfect, which is an issue looking at this here. Part of you feels you need to be perfect before you get out in the world, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
You'll be 70 and dusty if you do that.
Okay,
so the idea here is to start working on yourself and start showing your true self, and at the same time start to present your work to the world. So it's a parallel process, because they'll trigger each other.
Okay.
Issues will.
Sorry, I was just going to say, because I don't know how to do that, and also I don't feel that I've got the confidence to put myself out there either. I've always been very shy, and I always struggle talking to people who I don't know very well. So,
yeah, well, you've got to practice, you see.
Okay.
I used to be very shy as a child.
Okay.
I couldn't speak to a girl. I couldn't speak to anyone. I hated prepared talks at school. Now I write books and I do these webinars. I travel around and appear on Gaia.com in America, do workshops all over the place. But that just came through practice.
One of my worst pet hates is having to stand up in front of a group of people.
Well, if you want to tell them about your work, you're going to have to do it.
Yes, I know.
So you might want to find places where you can practice that are reasonably safe, like meetup groups or things like Toastmasters, things like that, where you can actually practice speaking and you're supported by understanding people.
Okay.
Because the best thing you can do with a lot of these programs is not just healing work on them, but you can actually take an action in the opposite direction. This program wants you to hide away. So express your truth, and what you'll discover, surprisingly, is that people will relate to that, express how you truly feel. And little by little, it feels safe to come out of hiding and show yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So sitting around thinking about it's not going to do it, because you think a lot, don't you, Amanda?
That's an understatement, yes.
You're trying to figure it out. You can't figure it out. You've got to take action with these programs and move in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's like procrastination. You're putting things off because, like you say, I want everything to be perfect first before I get there.
Yeah, well, life's not like that. You've got to go with the imperfect you, which is perfect anyway, and just start.
Okay.
Yeah, when I started this practice 20 odd years ago, I was very wounded emotionally, but I could still help people.
Mm.
And the process of actually taking action to do that helped me work through my stuff more quickly.
Right.
Because it brought up a lot of issues I had to face, which wouldn't have come up otherwise. So just start your practice as you are now, because you'll find you probably can help people.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
And do it with an open heart.
I have set up a website and got a page on Facebook, but I'm just not drawing people towards me.
Yeah, we've got a heal heart here, you see. So
Yeah.
self-healing is the next thing. We use a thing called Divine Healing. I'll post a link on it, which uses on when I post the video and when I email it out to you guys. But basically, it's about using the higher self to dismantle all these programs.
Okay.
That's an asking you shall receive. But you're already here to actually work with groups of people. You're here to, as you open your heart, to draw lots of people to you and build a network of like-minded people, and to bring spiritual energies down to the earth plane and share them in plain English to people.
Okay.
Take high-level concepts and express them in plain English. So you're actually here to be a teacher of groups of people with an open heart.
Interesting. Okay.
Totally serving them and exploring. This 15 is about you going on trying out lots of different modalities to find out what works for you. That's what you've been doing, haven't you? And then you find some work for you and some don't. So when they don't work, you move on and try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And have you found the right thing yet? Or are you still restless?
I think it's the sound healing.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So you find the right thing and you feel secure in it, and that's the one. And the 6 here is what's called a convertible knot. You actually will be quite good at running a business. It's about being very focused and carrying and making things happen.
Mm.
Okay. Are you good at that?
Yeah, I'm not too bad at that.
Yeah. There's great creativity, and this is actually the ability to manifest. If you really think about it enough, you should be able to manifest what you desire. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to use that, okay, to create your business one thing at a time.
Okay.
And this 10-1 here in physical goals is about claiming your power back around the masculine after what has happened with your father,
Mm.
and learn to use your power with integrity and having clear boundaries with the masculine power. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. And the spiritual karma is about simultaneously being open to God consciousness to express and service through you, but another part of your ego denies it at the same time. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of you might want to meditate, but the other part doesn't want to. See.
Okay.
So this is very important to work through, to break through the blockage to a grounding and expressing God consciousness here. And the talents here it is the symbol of the 19. This is about taking spiritual energies down to the earth plane and creating a physical form out of it. So do you have a desire to set up a spiritual center, Amanda?
Yes.
Because this is it right here.
Wow. Okay.
And to disseminate healing and knowledge with the energies of Archangel Michael, which is the divine masculine aspect of God. So you're here to be a teacher of groups of people in the spiritual center.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay.
That is something myself and my other half have been talking about for such a long time.
You've been talking about that, have you?
Yeah, and due to certain events that have happened in the past, it sort of blocked us from being able to do what we had planned to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is something that we would love to do in the future.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You say your husband, did you, or your partner?
He's my other half. We're not married yet.
Yeah.
But in the future, so that's something that we've talked about for quite a long time.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely in the numbers here.
Wow. Okay, that's brilliant.
Okay. And the 7 here and spiritual goals is all about, again, with an open heart, drawing like-minded people to you to be taught in your center.
Okay.
And in working through all these 6 aspects, the soul destinies are 14-5, and 14 is about reflected being. You're here to basically be a multi-dimensional mirror for people. So you can reflect back to them when they work with you, parts of themselves they haven't seen. Okay. And it creates an intense relationship situation. Do you find most of your relationships are pretty intense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's there to using that intensity so you can learn a lot more about yourself, the parts of you that are hidden.
Okay.
So you're an emotional mirror to people. And the 5 is a symbol of a fetus, which is about something very abstract and changing. This indicates past life, persecution for expressing the truth, which may be the other reason why you're not getting out there. So you need to clear the past lives.
I've always wondered that as well.
And being persecuted for being truthful.
Okay.
And this is a psychic hypersensitive part of you that you can feel the truth, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're here to very much share the truth and be a pioneer with others. Okay. So you need to be doing cutting edge type work, Amanda, or you're going to get bored.
Okay.
And this also says here you could be an author or writer based upon your direct life experience.
That's really interesting as well.
In what way are you planning on writing a book?
I am involved in publishing, but I haven't written any of my own stuff.
Yeah.
But I have thought about it.
Yeah, well, there's a writer in you.
Right, okay.
But writing about what you're passionate about from the heart.
Okay.
So how does that sound as a summary of your life, having just met me?
Sounds spot on. Sounds really, really good.
Okay.
Just exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so it's all here in the chart. So you can very rapidly, as a therapist, find out what's triggering a client. And the beauty of the system is that is it basically gives you this map instantly of what's going on with somebody. And this profound understanding means you can then bring to focus all your other tools that you've been learning. Sounds like you've got a lot of tools, okay? Because all you guys here are therapists of some sort. And because you have an accurate understanding, you can actually focus them very specifically to work on the issues, because it depends on where the client is in their soul contract. And the work can actually guide you very accurately with clients. And because the client knows it's all true, their ego resistance usually drops, because the ego cannot handle the truth. So it means you cut all the games and you just get on with actually working on the issues. And so it builds immediate trust most of the time. And so you produce better and faster results for people because you're aligning and helping them flow through their soul contract. Okay, this is the power of this. And so it's basically like a top level framework for working with the client. So you're not spending a lot of time trying to work out what's going on. You can see what's going on in the contract, and you can see how it's actually manifesting in their outer reality. And if we can take someone from wherever they are in their life, no matter how stuck they are, and move them forward. And when people realize that this is really accurate, and so they're not wasting their time beating their head against a brick wall, which is what most people are doing, trying to find their way forward, you're showing them, here's the way that's probably going to work. And so you're taking 80% of your effort and putting it into 20% of what matters, instead of the other way around, which is what most people end up doing because they haven't got the spiritual map of life. So it's very good as a therapist, counselor, workshop facilitator, because you can hold people emotionally much better when they know that you know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way we transmit this work with you, what you get from this, if you decide to study this work at some stage, is you get a deep understanding of yourself and everyone in your life, which changes the way you relate to them, because people are hardwired in a certain way. But if you understand how that works, you can flow with them rather than working against them in our relationships. And because other people feel you have a great understanding of me, so there's a better chance of creating a better relationship. And the way we teach this is that you learn to give readings based on people's birth names through interpreting these 22 Hebrew frequencies. And also your intuition channel opens up. Okay. Essentially what we're doing is we're giving you a transmission of the work, and you start to become it by practicing and delivering it to people. So it's not about trying to memorize it all. It's actually an activation in your DNA and your energy bodies of this work. Okay. And the way we teach this and how to do this is we teach it experientially. We don't go through the manual. How many of you have read the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, that I wrote?
I'm currently reading the book.
Yeah. So that's based on the manual for the training. Okay. But essentially, we don't go and read the book to you or the manual. You learn experientially through 3 days of immersion in the charts of yourself, your friends, and your family. We demonstrate each number with someone's real life experience. And you never forget that, because someone in the room is crying, talking about their mother who had a karmic 3 or whatever, and you remember it because it's a real human's experience. So we bring it alive for the first 3 days. And so we're transmitting to you to awaken it in your body. And body transmission is the most powerful way to learn, because you never forget it, provided you practice using it. Okay? And then we have ongoing professional development. We have an active peer-to-peer Facebook group, okay, to answer questions about the work. We do masterclasses regularly, and we're developing a holistic business development program with one of the practitioners. So we can help you get out there, because we teach you the skills on how to deliver this work, but also we've realized that most light workers actually don't really know how to run a business, because they're expert at being light workers and healers. So we give you here's actually how you create a business out of your skills. Because a lot of light workers are like you, Amanda, have learned all these skills and are good at it, but actually not sure how to get it out there. Because it's not what you think in terms of running a business, usually. Okay, because we're not taught how to run businesses in the Matrix. We're taught to be a slave and work for someone else, you see. Okay. So delivering readings basically gives people a deep sense of peace. Because when they hear the truth, the ego dissolves, and they go, all those crazy things that happened, there was a reason for it. I'm not going nuts. It's a feeling of relief that there's actually some order to all these disparate experiences. This was my experience of having a reading from Frank Copper, okay, for the first time in 1990. And it empowers people. Those who feel like victims of life can take charge and step forward into living their purpose, because they know there's a pathway now. It's not all turning bad for them. Okay. How are we doing so far? Any questions? I'm just sort of giving you an overview here. You just switch your microphones on if you've got any questions. Okay, Michelle? I'll see if I can unmute you. Okay, try now. I've unmuted you.
Also, drawing the symbols, like you're drawing on the. I was noticing when you're drawing the symbols on the screen, I was getting, feelings from that. Is that sort of a transmission that you can absorb by drawing the symbols? I know I keep. I draw some of the symbols on my Star of David and keep them underneath my mattress.
Yeah, I know the symbols are a portal, a specific transmission, and they are specific qualities, and they definitely talk to you. They talk to me. It's the pure energy of the number coming at you, and you can use it to transmit to yourself the right ones.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Georgina, how are you doing with this? Because you sort of had similar interest to Amanda. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what you can do for your clients is show them where they are on their spiritual map of life. And we teach you recommendations so they can overcome the specific challenge they face from exactly where they are. Okay. I mean, when I first had this reading, I was in a very disempowered place, but I got out of it once I understood what my contract was. Without that, I couldn't do what I'm doing now. And you can help people align to their soul and life purpose. Most people are not aligned at all, which is why life is very challenging. Help them to manifest it. The truth of this work touches their inner being, creates a very trusting connection, and enables people to go much deeper in their work more rapidly. And it opens you to a deeper level, because I've been doing this for only 30 years, and I still love doing these readings because someone just opens and flowers and their potential starts to get unleashed, and they thought they're never going to do this, but they found a way forward. Because life is very challenging when you're embodied here. So if you've got the map of how to get on with it, it's pretty precious. It's an amazing gift you can give somebody.
Yeah.
So what happens in the last 2 days of the training is that you prepare and give readings to other in pairs in the group. You could have a couple of goes at giving readings, and because of the nature of the transmission which we give, most people are giving pretty good readings, even for the first practice with it. And if you practice on friends and family, eventually you can deliver reasonable readings after the workshop. You've got to study and practice when you're doing this here to embed it, especially for the first month. Okay, there's sort of a magic about this work, because what you're doing is that it's like your higher self connects with the client's higher self, and it's delivering a specific message through the structure of the system. Essentially, it's intuiting and channeling through you, and it's telling their ego, the human part of them, what they need to hear in that moment. And you can totally transform someone's life through that truth that comes in.
I'll just ask a quick question.
Amanda, go for it.
When you did my reading, you said you were channeling through information from the symbols. Is that correct?
Yeah, symbols were talking to me. Your higher self was talking to the symbols, talking to me, and I was just attuning to what needed to be said to you.
So do you find that builds up over time if you're feeling more and more of those symbols? You sort of intuitively get information through when you've done a person a reading and you see their symbols, and do you sort of pick up more information from those symbols?
Yeah, well, once you've learned your basic interpretations, and eventually you let it all go, it just comes to you what you need to say, because it's actually activating in you.
Right.
Yeah, and they get to hear what they need to hear, and it's
Wow.
always perfect with it.
That's brilliant.
It's very powerful.
Mm. Yeah, I find it very fascinating.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, if you'd like to join us on this training, next month on the 15th or 19th of February. It's live here in Walton-on-Thames in Surrey, or on Zoom. Okay. And it runs from 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time, 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 Eastern time, and if you're in the Pacific, it's at 4:30 to 12:30. So we cover basically from California out to the Eastern Bloc. Sometimes people come from Australasia, Vietnam, Japan, all over the place. So you can still just do it from home, which saves a lot of travel and accommodation, and you can just focus on learning. And
which part of Surrey?
Walton-on-Thames, that's sort of southwest of, half an hour southwest of London.
Yeah, okay.
So where are you, Amanda?
I'm in Devon now.
Okay.
I'm originally from London, but moved down to Devon, so...
Okay, a bit quieter down there.
Place anymore. Yeah, but yeah, quieter.
Yeah. So, yeah, most people come online because a lot of people aren't even in the UK for this, when we do this. So you're the token English person, Amanda. Sometimes we have no English people at all on this training.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're interested, the deposit's $229 or about $300 US, and the total fee is about £600 and $800. It's a very powerful awakening process, the transmission. So you can register at soulcontractreading.com if you'd like to come on this, or contact me. I'll send out the YouTube link once I've done this, plus some of the things I've talked about later.
Okay.
So do you guys have any questions about this, about what we've covered tonight? So now's your chance to ask me. So
I can't think of any other questions at the moment. I'm sure once it's finished, something start coming up with loads. At the moment, I can't think of any.
All right. Georgina, do you have any questions? No? You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, do you have any questions?
So I guess just thank you so much for doing this work, and it's been very meaningful, the bit that I have done with it. I had to put it down for a while because of life situations, but uh, getting closer and closer to Santa Fe and getting into a place where I can focus on this more, and I just think what you're doing is so important, and I just feel a lot of gratitude. So thank you for keep doing these webinars.
Okay, thank you for that. All right. Okay, no further questions, people. We'll call it a day. Thank you for engaging. And plus, is that one of your children, Georgina? Yeah, yeah. And I hope you got something from this. I will also send you your chart, Amanda.
Thank you. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for doing that for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing this. So take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.